From the knot? No, that's, I don't want to.
Can you tell me why I can't see anything other than two people?
Hi, Bill. So
That'd
mine is just a submission. I can only submit at a meeting. So yeah, so if I submit tonight, then it would be, we wouldn't be doing anything tonight. It would just be the setup for the next meeting.
Okay, so you just want to take that submission, Bill? Site plan review for 25 Cape Road?
Oh, yeah, we can do that right now.
Yep. Okay, we can do that for August 10th. We
Yeah,
could do
'cause,
the public hearing.
Because I'm a little old, John. I can't see your drawing anyway, so.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, because it was just a submittal. I didn't want to submit
Right.
anything. 'Cause it was just a submittal. And then I also have the submittal for 5 Harrington.
5 Harrington.
All right, John, let me just ask you one question. Now, what is the use here
For which one?
for 49, is it 49 Cape?
Yeah, for
No,
Cape
no, no.
Road is, so
25 Cape.
25 Cape
25
Road
Cape.
is an auto body repair shop behind where his auto repair business is. So directly behind it, he would be putting another building where there's pavement now to do auto body repair in. So it's special permit and
Okay,
Site plan. Site plan.
all right, do we,
Hey, guys, you guys hear me? This is Damon.
yeah, we can hear you.
All right, so what is this property? I'm just coming in on this.
This is 25 Cape Road. John's submitting an application for a special permit site plan. And we're just, this is just the application process, so we got to set the meeting for the special.
Public hearing.
For the public hearing.
Okay, so this
Well,
is, okay,
I just need a motion at this point. They're doing a
make a-
collision repair shop there, so.
this is on the corner of 140?
no, this is further down where Abe has the gas station and then he has the repair shop and the car wash.
Yep.
Right on 140 past Pop and Cork down about a half a mile on the right.
Yeah, so
Rosenfeld's
you're
old
gonna-
project.
You're gonna
Yeah,
include
it's
this,
the road that goes next to Abe's Car Wash.
so it's going down into the industrial park.
Yeah, no, so this is on the existing piece this is on the same lot that he has his auto repair. He wants to put a separate building right behind it for auto body in it.
Okay, I got you.
So it's
Okay.
right on the pavement that's already there, the building would be going.
Okay, so you need a motion?
Yes, please. We need a, Gail, when's that date?
August 10th, 7:15.
All right,
All right, I'll make a motion for August 10th, 7:15, public hearing for 25 Cape Road.
Yes.
you got
Yep.
it.
Second.
James seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. So got that public
Okay.
hearing date, John?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay, do you want to do the 5 Harrington too?
No, I think we should wait till after.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll wait.
Do you want to do the bond for Cook's Crossing, Bill?
Not right now. It's 7:12. I don't want to get into a discussion, so.
Okay, yep.
um,
All right, I'm just letting all the board members know that they have to come in and sign the Worcester Registry of Deeds form that you sign every year.
Yep,
So all of yous need to come in at some time soon. Okay, so John Vandersloot is not on, right?
correct.
Okay.
Bob Clarkson is trying to get on. I'm not sure he's having good luck.
I believe Bob's on.
Bob, you there?
Hold on, I'll call him back.
I can't wait till we can get everybody in a room again.
It's like John left too.
No, John's still here.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm still here.
I can't see you. Where'd you go, the bathroom?
I don't know. Lonnie must have turned me off. No, I'm
No,
still here.
No, I think he leaned back. He was behind the screen. He was behind his plant.
Yeah,
Bob's
my
coming
ears
in.
get white, Bill. I heard that. I wonder why.
Yeah, I used to look a lot younger before I took this job too.
All right.
All right, it is close enough. 7:14. So we have the continuation of public hearing for 49 Milford Street.
I
Received
sent you
an email
the,
with continuance to the next meeting,
no, so he wants it till August 24th, Bill.
August 24th.
Yep,
So we need a continuance till August 24th
at 7:15.
at 7:15.
Yep,
Gaming,
I'll make a motion to continue the public hearing for Milford Street until August 24th at 7:15.
that's Barry, right?
yep.
Second.
Okay,
All
second.
those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
Who seconded it?
James,
Okay, thank you.
welcome.
All right. Now we'll let Gabrielle take over.
Can't hear you, Gabrielle.
Oh, she's muted.
I'm sorry. Lonnie, if you don't have my slideshow, I can present it from my desktop. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, go right ahead and give it a shot. You should be able to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it.
You got it?
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Perfect.
Got it? All right, this is probably just as good because
You
I
get
can
to
open
control it.
yeah, I can control it and I can open up my notes too. All right. Thank you guys so much for letting me do this presentation. I'm going to try to keep it down to 15, 20 minutes, no longer than that. We're working with Al working on the stormwater management program. So Mendon has just completed the second year, planning year 2 under the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System, MS4 general permit. And our purpose of being here tonight is to provide the town with an update on the planning progress. This is an annual public meeting requirement. So last year we did it at the Board of Selectmen, and we're going to try to rotate among some of the boards each year that are involved with implementation of the permit. And particularly, we wanted to come tonight to discuss some of our recommendations for bylaw changes that to comply with the new permit. So I'm going to give you the big overview, everything I'm going to talk about right now. So that way, if if you don't want to listen, no, hopefully you will listen. So good news, Mendon has addressed all permit year 2 requirements. We've been able to check off all the boxes. Second big point is coming down the line very soon, we are expected some changes to the 2016 MS4 general permit. This is following on the heels of lots of litigation and conversation and complaints across Massachusetts. And so there are quite a few changes that are expected to affect the permit as it's written right now. How that's going to affect Mendon, one thing is very good. These bylaw requirements are going to have an extra year to be enacted. They were supposed to have been passed by the town in planning year 2. Now we're going to have an extra year. The downside is there was a phosphorus control required for the portion of Mendon that discharges to the Charles River permit. It's a burdensome requirement. We've tried hard to convince EPA and Mass DEP to exempt the town from the requirement, but not only were we not successful, they actually made the requirement a little worse. So that's some news. So design standards are something that everyone is very aware of with the planning board. And the MS4 general permit design standards and the Massachusetts Stormwater Handbook due to be amended are recommendations that in the bylaws, wherever they are referenced, they just be put in as a reference without the specific language. And this is going to enable changes to the general permit and the handbook as amended without bylaw revisions. So that's our broad recommendation. We've prepared a memo. Everyone should, hopefully it's gotten forwarded. I know the planning board has a copy of it. It's a review of Mendon's bylaw for compliance with Stormwater MS4 general permit. It's dated June 21st. It has a complete discussion of the rationale for our modifications, as well as the red line of the general bylaw and the zoning bylaw. So that's basically, that's my opening remark there. And I just wanted to do a little reiteration for those of you who might be new to the regulations. EPA and Mass DEP jointly administer Massachusetts Stormwater Program under the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System, or NIPD's permit program. The first general permit was under phase 2 of the Clean Water Act, was enacted in 2003. It regulated in cities and towns with urbanized areas of certain thresholds that are classified as small municipal separate storm sewer systems, or MS4. That first permit expired in 2008. A draft came out and was on hold for 10 years. And in 2016, a draft was issued, but it wasn't until 2018 that the next generation, the current general permit, was signed. So there's 260 municipalities, including Mendon, that are authorized to discharge under the permit. And this is a map showing the hatched areas are the urbanized areas within Mendon. And Mendon has chosen, for the most part, to enact its stormwater controls throughout the town, although the requirement is just to enact them within the urbanized area. So under the permit, kind of in a nutshell, there's 6 different areas where best management practices need to be developed for each community. And all of these best management practices have a specific goal to eliminate contaminants from reaching waters of the US. This is a map showing all of the outfalls that have been identified in the town of Mendon, the little circles there. The urbanized area is in the hatched purple, and then shown in different colors with green and red are some water bodies that have specific impairments. So there's additional requirements beyond the 6 minimum control measures to address water quality impairments. Mendon has only Mill River that has an impairment for bacteria, but unfortunately, the permit requires downstream impairments to be addressed as well by communities that are upstream in the watershed. So the majority of Mendon discharges to the Blackstone watershed. You see the purple line is that is in the upper right-hand corner of the slide. That's the boundary between the Blackstone watershed and the Charles River watershed. So a little tiny section of Mendon discharges to the Charles River watershed that is impaired for phosphorus, actually has a TMDL, and the Blackstone River discharges to Narragansett Bay, Rhode Island, which has a TMDL. So Mendon has to comply with regulations for both watersheds, even though those impairments are not within the town. So that's pretty awesome. So here's just a quick peek about what Mendon has accomplished so far today. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. The first year of the permit, we are able to create a lot of the planning documents that are required to implement the permit under each of the 6 control measures. So the Stormwater Management Plan, or the SWMP, that is like the blueprints for how Mendon addresses each of the 6 minimum control measures. That SWMP is online on the Highway Department website. It's a good read. It's really will help you understand what the program means for Mendon. And this isn't just about the Highway Department. This impacts planning department. It affects town administrator. It affects all different sites and facilities within the town of Mendon that use any type of materials that might contribute to stormwater contaminants to the waters of the U.S. So that illicit discharge detection plan was the second one. We've also established a public education website. There's right there that URL that's up on the screen. You can go there and find links to the plans and the website and the IDD plan. Very key is establishing our working group, and this ensures that we have representation across the town from these different departments that will help us implement the minimum control measures. This team is required to meet just once a year to review progress under the SWMP, and they have to provide specific input in the way of planning metrics that are then submitted each year to EPA and Mass DEP. And Al Petro, who is on the call, he is been authorized by the town and EPA to sign the permit each year, all reporting documents, including the annual report. So the 2018 permit built on a lot of prior work completed under the 2003 permit. So this map I showed you before, it includes mapping of 209 outfalls and all portions of the stormwater system. We have in great detail in our GIS. This includes catch basins, manholes, and pipes. We also, all of these outfalls have been identified by sub-watershed. You see there, I think that's Mill Brook 16. That's the ID for that outfall that is discharging, or Mill River, or actually Muddy Brook. There you go, Muddy Brook. So we also did dry weather sampling of all of the outfalls, and only 4 outfalls out of 2009 had dry weather flow, which is really good. So that's a good fact. So another thing we did is develop the catchment areas. So each outfall is associated with a land surface area that drains to the outfall. So we can collect measurements and metrics in any catchment area where there's problems, where there might be some water quality testing may have indicated that there is an issue. We really don't have any problem catchment areas in Mendon, which is a very good thing, but this detailed catchment delineation is a requirement of the program. We were able to complete it easily because we had such good information about the system, the piping, as well as features, the subbasins, etc. Another thing that was accomplished was creating a public outreach for illicit discharge. And this is something that not a lot of communities have done. Mendon, there's not a lot of samples of IDD public outreach. I'm having trouble with that slide. There we go. So these are posters. You may have seen them throughout town, and there's cards that accompany it with a number to report any type of illicit discharge that you're seeing. And this is a requirement of the permits to educate the public, educate businesses, and then to provide a procedure for identifying and eliminating illicit discharge. So we will be asking everyone if there were any reports of illicit discharge when we do the annual report. So under permit year 2, we're able to focus a little bit on enhancing public education by completing a survey. I forwarded to members of the task force, and I believe planning board members, got the early results of the stormwater survey. We started this survey in September, and I think it's 43 or 46 surveys were completed. We developed the Mendon Good Housekeeping Plan and standard operating procedures. I'll tell you a little bit more about those. And then we're going to discuss the post-construction bylaw and phosphorus control plan. So just, okay, real quickly, this is the public education website. And the goal here was to address all the public education requirements of the permit at once in one place with handy links. So the text that is there in orange links to PDFs or websites to get more information. And its focus is on construction concerns, businesses, homeowners, with a focus on lawn fertilizer and pet waste, which are two elements that the permit is requiring Mendon to focus on. So our good housekeeping plan, it applies to the entire town of Mendon. What this is it's doing an inventory of all of the buildings and facilities, vehicles and equipment, and drainage infrastructure within the town of Mendon that possibly could have some pollution potential through either direct or indirect activities that are either going on the site, such as a storage of fuel storage, or like in an open space that is managed, where there's activities going on, like such as mowing or fertilizing, something like that. So the steps of developing the plan is identifying the sites and facilities in identified responsible parties, evaluating activities that go on there and what the pollution potential is. So the plan includes a matrix of 30 sites and facilities across Mendon. These are grouped under municipal buildings, school buildings, fire and safety facilities, parks and open space that would include cemeteries, gardens, and active recreation. So not open space like a forest or something where there was not maintenance of the land going on. And solar fields also were included in there as well. So we identified every activity going on at these different sites and facilities, evaluated their pollution potential, and based on that, in discussions with the responsible party who's responsible for maintaining operations at the sites and facilities, a list of 13 standard operating procedures were developed, reviewed with department staff, and finalized. So now the town has the plan, and it will hopefully implement that. So standard operating procedures, just here's the list. So you can see the breadth of things that are included, everything from maintenance of buildings to pet waste management, snow and removal, street sweeping, the whole gamut of activities that are meant to curtail and prevent stormwater pollution. So moving on, the heart of the matter for you guys is the bylaws. We looked at we looked at your general bylaws, in particular, chapter 26, stormwater management bylaw, as well as your zoning bylaw, article 4, site plan review. And we're aware that you had gotten a grant as part of the MVP FY18 MVP action grant to do the LID. And I reviewed the original one, and it wasn't until recently I see that you've made changes to go from, it was in your subdivision regulations, I believe. And I think that's where the original edits were, but it looks like you've made edits to the general bylaw instead.
No, there was Gabriel, there was just a revision to the zoning bylaws amended at our last town meeting a few weeks ago.
Well, that's perfect, and that's wonderful. And I looked over that, and there's nothing that happened in that that's inconsistent with what we're proposing, except for one very small thing, which is the definition of low impact development, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And it's not a big deal. You know, if that you want to make them consistent and stick with what's already been passed, that's fine. So there's kind of minor amendments in the language related to LID. You'll see them. It's you know, just you know, inserting a word here and there. We are referencing the Massachusetts Stormwater Handbook in place of very lengthy prescriptive design guidelines. We've revised and expanded some definitions such as development, redevelopment, LID. Again, this is basing it off of Mass DEP definitions that are already in place through wetlands or water quality 401 certification. So we wanted to be consistent with other state policies in our definitions. So there's a specific criteria for development and redevelopment that we've added, and reference to submission of as-built drawings. So the construction site runoff control, it was 99.9% perfect. We did make 2 adjustments. We're clarifying requirements for construction waste control that somehow seem to have gone missing. And we expanded inspections by the planning board or authorization agents under the site plan review. So that's kind of the big ones for the stormwater program. So you do have up until the end of planning year 3 to pass these. And I know bylaws always take forever. So hopefully these all make sense. They won't really change your procedures, which are, your bylaws are excellent. They're very, very solid. But these will just make things consistent. I did also want to mention to you the phosphorus control plan is a requirement which is almost ridiculous applying this to Mendon. This is actually a 10-year process of looking at ways of reducing phosphorus loading within the urbanized area from the town of Mendon that contributes to the Charles River. And what we did in permit year 2 is we completed a legal analysis demonstrating that Mendon does in fact have the authority to control phosphorus, but unfortunately there's no place to do it. So what I'm going to show you now is just a picture of the urbanized area within the town of Mendon. It's shown in the green or the yellow hatched area. There was 2 different definitions of the urbanized area. So let's pick the pink line is the boundary between the Charles River and the Blackstone, and then moving to the east, go all the way out to the green hatched line. So that area between the pink watershed boundary and the edge of the 2000 urbanized boundary, that is the area that EPA has said Mendon shall implement mitigation to remove a certain load of phosphorus from the watershed. So here's the catch. There's up at the north, I'm going to flip to this slide because you can actually just see it a little bit better. Up at the top edge there, that's what's the name of that road? What's the name of that road?
Half Ave East.
What is it?
Hartford Avenue East.
Hartford
Hartford
Avenue.
Avenue East.
Yeah. You see the small catch basins there? Those are not in the urbanized area. There's catch basins that run along the road to outfalls, which are on the Charles River, shown in the yellow circles there. So that drainage area is outside of the urbanized area, so it really doesn't apply. You could make the case that there was stormwater discharge coming all the way from the boundary of the watershed, the purple line there. You see that green circle? That's an outfall from Mass DOT. So it's like Mass DOT water is coming there, running down the street, and it's not controlled by the town of Mendon. Also, that strip of land that supposedly where the town is supposed to implement a control measure, it's all private land. There's no town-owned land there.
I know.
And then if you move
So
further down, yep.
I know, I got it.
So Gabrielle, that's that section that we were talking about, of putting some kind of treatment area down in the area in the solar field, right?
Yes, that was where we were looking at possibly getting rid of the most southern outfall and discharging it, doing some type of LID, some type of infiltration where we could, rather than direct discharge, which is what it is right now, shooting straight into the Charles River, that we could treat that water, and retain it and infiltrate it. So we did try and contact. You can actually see the solar field better on this slide here. This is a newer slide. So we were looking at areas to the east of the wetland area there. We just really didn't get very far. We know that that there's agreements with the town for the solar fields. So it would need another agreement with the landowners for a drainage easement. And I don't know if you can have two easements onto a land at the same time.
I don't believe that that's going to work. They're not going to give us an easement over there.
No. And also the other thing is technically all of the catch basins are outside of the urbanized area. So
good.
In a way it's exempt. If you go a little further to the south there, where you see Barrows Road, there is a couple of catch basins there. I'm going to slip to this other side now. Down at the bottom of the slide, you can see there's a couple of catch basins just inside the urbanized area on Barrows Road. You can see the detail there, and that orange is the stormwater discharge. So we thought, well, we'll move the catch basins outside of the area, and then it will become exempt. But I think the long and the short of it is, I don't even know if doing that would be sufficient to address the load reduction that is required under the new permit, especially with these new amendments that are coming up. And as we proceed with our phosphorus analysis, I think we're going to continue to make the case that there's nothing that the town can do. The land isn't in its control. That road is owned by Mass DOT, and the land is all private.
Right.
So that's kind of where we're at. Permit year 3, we do need to start going back to the system mapping and a look at a little more detail. Very little detail. There's some investigation of catchments with key manhole junctions. I don't want to get into what that actually is because I barely understand it because I'm not an engineer. In yellow there, I've repeated the ordinance. So this is, again, you have this extra year to finish it. So I've included again in permit year 3. And then there's inspection of town-owned treatment structures, and then tracking installed BMPs. And this is something that the planning board can be very helpful with because you are making requirements for stormwater BMPs, and that information needs to be captured in a way that we can document what the requirements are, what the performance is, what the O&M plans are, et cetera. So we can start to generate this report. And next step, we're going to keep our eye on when those new revisions come out. We anticipate it is going to be by this fall. And you've got that additional year, but the phosphorus loads have been increased for the Charles River watershed. The Stormwater Task Force, I'm going to be bugging all of them to help develop the stormwater metrics, make any revisions to the stormwater management plan, and then we'll submit the year 2 annual report for Al to sign in September. And that's all I have, and I hope I didn't take too much time.
No, you were very good.
Well, you
I
guys-
have one question, Gabrielle. How does this affect the right to farm bylaw?
How does it affect the right to farm law?
Yeah, only because they do, in certain areas where there are wetlands, they do use, fertilizer and those. Yeah, if that stuff.
Well, the implementation of the plan is looking at, it would affect, if it's affecting something that's in your bylaws, a lot of the standard operating procedures, the inspections is all targeting municipal property. So as far as private homeowners, they're going to be required to conform to the bylaws. So
Who's going to police that?
pardon?
Gabrielle, this is Alan. Who's going to police that?
Well, the bylaws are
They're under the planning board.
under the planning board. So it's when
Okay.
When development or redevelopment comes in and somebody needs a building permit and there's something they have to, they've got to go through site plan review. They have to prepare a stormwater management plan. So, that's where your control is. And then as you're developing LID projects, you're developing green stormwater infrastructure, is super, super important to have required operation and maintenance plan with annual inspections and to follow up on that to make sure that the systems are operating as intended. Because too often these vegetated systems are put in, they get clogged with fines, they stop operating. They're not only not treating stormwater as intended, but they're actually creating floods.
Right.
Okay, Gabriel, this is John Dennett. I just have a question about the right to farm that Bill was just saying. How does that affect farms in Mendon? Mostly the phosphorus runoff.
I mean, yeah, that was my concern, storage of silage and stuff like that. You're gonna get runoff from, and I don't really want to get into a battle with the farms in the area over the right to farm bylaw.
So as far as like the phosphorus control, it has to be done on municipal property. Because they can't be implementing something that they don't have control over. So when they were looking at, there's this certain amount of reduction that has to take place, there isn't any town property to do it on in the Charles River watershed. So I don't see that this impacts farms beyond complying with bylaws when a new building is built that has to come before the building inspector to go through site plan review.
All right.
So my favorite cow in Mendon is fine.
All right, before you go,
Favorite cow.
before you go, I just want to have Gail take a roll call. I saw several other people on this. Gail, did you get a roll call of all the people that attended
Attended what?
the meeting tonight?
No, just Bill, Barry, Jim, and Damon.
Okay, we
Myself.
should have really got the public too. I don't know how many other people from the public were on.
Okay, so I know John Nenart.
Yeah,
I'm on, Alan. Alan.
Gabriel.
I'm on.
Yeah,
John's on.
John who?
Vandersloot.
John
Oh,
Van
okay.
Sloot. Who else?
Okay.
Bob Parkman
Park's
is on.
in. I see Bob.
Yep.
Is there anybody else that's on this that we haven't?
Okay, Bob Parkson, right?
Because it had said like plus 7 more users, but I know it
And
wasn't.
Mazar's on.
Oh, Ann's on. Hi, Ann.
Okay,
Hi.
who else?
How's Martha's Vineyard?
Good.
Good.
Okay, who else?
I'm Henry Matthew. I'm on. I can't see myself, but I'm on. Can you hear me?
Henry, what's your last name?
Matthew, Matty.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That would be wonderful to have the list of everybody who attended. So we'll include that as the public as having met the public outreach requirement for permit year 2. So
When do these once-a-year meetings plan on taking place,
so
Gabrielle?
I should have had this meeting in June, but with COVID and everything, I just got I got so bogged down by having a million virtual meetings. They literally ran out of time. So we're a couple weeks late. So I'm supposed to have them in June, but it's really fine. It's fine. Just as long as we do it before September every year.
Okay.
And if you guys want us to do it again at the planning board, we're happy to. We did it a couple years in a row in front of the select board, so I figured I'd give them a break.
Actually, I'd be very interested in that. If you could send me some information on that, and we could talk about it.
Okay, wonderful. And we hope you'll follow up with one another about the memo and comments on the memo. And
Is that the changes you're looking for?
I'm not really, well, that
I mean,
contract is kind of done, but we can I'll discuss with Al if he wants me to continue to support you guys on that, because technically you can take it from here.
Yeah, no, I just, is that what the memo is? Is that regarding the bylaw changes?
Yes, it's
Yeah, all right.
a memo that discusses them, and I didn't ask for comments. That really wasn't part of our scope. It was just do the memo.
No, that's quite all right. No, I've got pretty familiar with writing bylaws to the detriment of some and the good of others, but.
Yeah. Well, you got the nitty gritty there and all of the rationales. So
It's a lot smaller book before I started, so.
Yeah, but of course, if you have any questions, of course, reach out to me. I'm happy to answer anything.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Well, thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for
Thanks,
coming.
Gabrielle.
Have a
Thank you
good
so
night.
much, Al. Talk to you soon.
All right. Yep, you will. I'll call you. Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. On to the next item, which would be Bob Parkson.
Yes.
Brother. What do we got?
So do you have the,
Is Lonnie still here, or he's got your documents, right?
should, yes.
Yeah, I'm here. One sec.
You're bringing him up. Here he is. Oh, look, Ann's in the meeting. How you doing? That was very good. She was good.
Bob, which do you prefer first, the planning, the preliminary plan or your open space
The
plan?
preliminary first, do the preliminary first.
Hey, what's happening? What, do we wake you up, Lonnie?
So while we're waiting for the plans,
Yeah.
I'll just explain it. There's a 30.8 acre parcel of land off of Daniels Road owned by Michael Ferrucci
Yes.
that Dominic Afonso has either purchased or is in the process of purchasing to
Yep.
develop as a subdivision. So we looked at it, and it's one of the property lines is actually the Muddy Brook, and there's some wetlands. We did a preliminary design with a cul-de-sac for 8 lots, and we've got a cul-de-sac of about 1,050 feet. And then we looked at, so we want to go right to an open space flexible development plan, like we've done in the past. So this is the preliminary plan. Shows the entire parcel being developed with 8 lots, all rather large, with 1,050 feet of 50 feet of roadway on a dead end.
Now, Bob, what's been questioned on this, and I received, no one, I think at one prior meeting, I had requested that the engineering be done, prior to any submittal to the board. It was the amount of footage we actually have on Daniels Road. Some people have questioned whether there's actually the 50-foot requirement.
There is the 50-foot. There's actually roundings that were created.
Okay.
You see the roundings are actually part of the property, or it was left this way with the intent of future development. So
Okay.
we're all set with that. We know that we have the right frontage and we have actual roundings in place, so we don't need to get easements from any of the abutters. They're actually roundings in place.
All right.
So,
I mean, obviously, that's not the planning board title to to what you own as property isn't the planning board's guidance anyway. So that's Mr. Alfonso has the whole title, or he can never build a road. But
that's correct. That's correct. We
um,
have adequate access and the right to do it. So.
okay.
So we're okay. We're confident that we have the ability to build this road along with the width and the easement and the roundings that were presented as part of the property.
And I can't really see it. It's not really blown up, and I'm getting really old like the rest of you.
Yeah.
So how big are these lots?
These lots are all in excess of like 200. Well, the lots on the left side of the roadway are all in excess of 200,000 square feet. With the lots on the right side of the roadway.
Oh, that's much better. I can see that now. Yeah.
That's actually the open space development partial. So that's not the preliminary, but that's
right.
that's the open space one.
Yeah. So they're all around 40,000 square feet.
So the open space would be 40,000 square feet. So we don't run into what we ran into up at Pond Street, where we had to create an aggregate loading for septics. So we want to get at least 40,000 so we can put a septic and well on each one.
Yep.
So with these 8 lots of 40,000 square feet, we would be providing over 21 acres of open space to the town, which abuts their town-owned land, and would include all of Muddy Brook, all of the 100 and 200 foot riverfront, and the 100-foot buffer to the wetlands, and all the wetlands would all be part of the town land. So there would be none of these lots would disturb any resource area, and we would leave the area next to Muddy Brook would be the development area would be in excess of 200 feet from Muddy Brook, and when these lots would develop.
Okay.
Also, because of the way we're going to configure the open space, there would be potential for the town in the future, if they wanted to extend the road into their property. Because I know there was talk in the past of low-income housing and, over 55.
How much of it's usable?
Of the town land?
Yeah.
That you currently own?
No.
Of the open space. So of the open space, the 21.5 acres, there'd be 14.5 acres of upland that would be usable. And like I say, and it abuts the town-owned property. That's a significant piece of town-owned property, which is behind the highway barn and that area. Yeah. So what we're looking for is the okay to go ahead with a definitive plan for a flexible development, open space concept plan.
Well, do you have a conventional prepared that we could look at real quick?
Well, that's what I looked at. That's what you looked at in the first one.
Oh, okay.
The first one was show the conventional 8 lots with all the land being part of the, well, I think.
Oh, I got you.
I think
Okay.
this is what's on the screen now, actually. That's what's on the screen now.
Is the
This is
conventional.
Yep. Yep, it utilizes, the property lines go right to the muddy.
Oh, I see. Yeah, all right.
And then the open space would be the, the limited one, like that.
Okay.
That's the open space there.
Yep, so that would be the open space, and then if you could scroll up, and you could show how it meets with, yeah. This is the open space, and then over to the right would be the town-owned land. This is all town-owned land in here. So you would be abutting.
So our upland runs right into the current town-owned land.
Yes, correct. Yes, it does. That's why I said in the future, if you wanted to continue that road and develop the town property, you could continue a public way because you would have there's no easement to it. It's open. It's right at the road butts right up against it. Closed dead end.
Okay.
So why don't they leave an easement to the town property?
Well, this is all the open space we're getting. So the town's gonna own this. We don't need an easement. Yeah.
No easement this time.
There's no easement.
Don't-
Doesn't
don't-
need one because we own the open space up to the end of the cul-de-sac.
Correct.
And Bob, there'll be no clear cutting, correct?
Oh, well, there again, like I said, we only got a 40,000 square foot lot. I mean, even if
Yeah,
we
we
did-
just need to try and keep as much vegetation as possible.
If you look on the lots that abut the existing houses on Daniels Road,
Yeah.
there's a gas easement that runs through there. So we can't go beyond that gas easement. So for the most part, there would be no disturbance of any kind of buffer for those people. The buffer would be maintained to the abutting
Okay.
property on Daniels Road.
But even the lots, we'd like to keep as much of the growth,
Well, yeah,
as
that's the
possible.
thing. That's what happened. That's the benefit of making them 40,000 instead of the
Right.
20,000 that we had on Pond Street, where we had to pretty much clear cut everything to be able
And
to develop lots.
And Mr. Alfonso is aware of the fees for for the town costs for the
Yeah. He
conservation.
just did it. He just finished it up on Pond Street, so.
Yeah.
Been
Well,
through it before, so.
well, we're gonna look to have this wrapped up prior to releasing lots this time because we don't want to be chasing everybody.
Yeah.
I get too many phone calls and emails. I'm really not interested. Before we release lots, we have to have all that taken care of, including markings.
Yeah, no, so fine. You can just put that in there, whatever conditions you.
Yeah, we'll add those to the conditions.
Yes, sure.
All right, well, why don't we set a public hearing date for the open space?
Well, I'm away. Right now. I just need you to tell me.
Oh.
Okay, because we don't actually have a topography yet here. We've got to do a lot of survey work involved. We probably wouldn't be looking for this till late fall, probably coming in.
All right, well, you know what, I mean, I'd rather see the open space development, I guess, than a conventional development at this point.
Right.
So I think any other board members have anything to add? I'll take that as cricket silence.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, Ann.
Um,
Raise your hand, I can't see you anyway.
I was wondering if the conventional lot was realistic for this property, because I know it's like super steep and other people didn't want to build on it. So, is this a realistic number of lots? So one question.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, let's look at the conventional again.
I mean,
What is the topo drop on that, Bob?
so the contours that you see are 10-foot contours, so the spacing is 10 feet in between there. But the scale is relatively small. It's still, I mean, it's not a problem to develop these lots.
No, I see what you're saying. There's plenty of upland in all of them.
Yep, yep.
The
So
other,
Do we have any,
So that'll be eight,
do we have
that'll
any
be eight
issues?
conventional lots.
Yeah, do we have any issues with MEP or anybody?
No, I know there's no endangered species in this area.
Where's the, I see 7 lots. Where's the 8th one? Can you scroll down, Lonnie?
It's the very end. It's very end of the cul-de-sac. There it is.
Okay, so we would lose, our easement access
Sure.
with the conventional also.
Yep.
All right,
I just had one other comment.
yep,
It looks like it's really good access to the open space, which is nice. But there will have to be 3 parking spaces made at some point to access the open space.
That's fine. Whatever is in part of the agreement.
Okay.
yeah, and that's, and that's, impervious, stone, whatever, what do we outline in the, provision,
It's like
and,
impervious
Yeah.
surface. Yeah,
Yeah.
pervious, like water goes through. Yeah.
so, probably, I would, some stone dust or something that holds up really well.
Sure. Not a problem.
And,
All right.
and the other thing too is that the LID bylaws were passed, and so those will also have to be followed, like the clear cutting and leaving, as much vegetation as possible and that type of thing.
Yeah, have you seen the new changes, Bob?
Not yet, but that's fine.
Yeah,
Anything that would force Mr. Alfonso to not clear cut is a good thing.
yeah, I think we're looking to more use like, street drainage too, so,
Well,
Um,
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sold on that stuff yet as far as maintenance for the town and the ability of the town to do these ditches and driveway crossings, but we'll look into it. I mean,
okay,
it's cheaper for the developer, in the building phase, but it's more difficult for the town to maintain afterwards. But
yeah, I'm a little concerned with running a storm drains, where we gonna put this? I mean, I know you got your, engineering to do, but where you gonna put the retention pond or whatever? You're pretty close to Muddy Brook, so,
yeah, but well, really, I'm actually, the back of these lots is about 300 feet from Muddy Brook.
okay,
So, we got plenty of area behind and like I say, once we get the topo, we'll understand how the topography is working for us. So, I mean,
all right. So, yeah, I mean, I think if it's done to the, the changes that currently suit the bylaw now, I think the open space would probably be a better development. Obviously, it gives town access to the, open space. And, but gentlemen, anybody else on the board have any questions or?
Looks good to me. You want a motion to set a public hearing?
Yes, let's set up, well, no, he's not prepared. Bob wants to come back at a later date. He just wanted, let's take a vote to,
And we have no paperwork for it.
well,
No,
no,
what's he looking to do?
no, in the flexible development, in the zoning bylaw on the flexible development, it says you're supposed to meet with the planning board with a pre-application
yeah,
to set up the number of lots that you can have and establish, basically to establish how many lots we can provide in this open space plan.
yeah. And that's what I was gonna ask for a motion for.
Motion for what?
To establish the 8 lots in the open space development.
You want a motion to establish the 8 lots? He's got to come in with
Yeah,
that.
he's gotta come back with the engineering.
Right.
We're just getting a lot, we're agreeing that,
I don't think you have to vote on it. Do you?
No, it's just you foregoing the preliminary plan submission and let me go right to
Yeah.
definitive with a flexible
Yeah.
development.
All right, so you come in with your application when you're all ready to go, and then we'll,
Yep.
we'll go from there,
All
right?
right, go for,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, you don't
good.
need to- I don't think you need to vote on that.
all right,
No.
then we won't.
Bill,
Yes, Barry.
yeah, I just want to make sure, because I can't see anything. I want to make sure that the access to the open space is deeded to the town. It's not on somebody's lot.
It doesn't,
Nope,
it's
it's not.
it's not anybody's lot. It's in the open space, Barry, the end of the cul-de-sac.
All right.
Sits
Yeah,
right,
you gotta have an easement no matter what.
well, it doesn't need an easement. We
needs
we
an
own
easement,
frontage.
yeah.
Oh, okay, oh, all right, I'm sorry, yes, okay, I see that, yep.
You don't
All right.
need,
Yeah, I got you, yep.
Yeah, I just don't want to go through what we're going through on the one we're dealing with now.
yeah,
No, I purposely did it this way, just so we wouldn't be dealing with that again.
all right.
All right. Like I said, I can't see anything.
Okay,
No idea
all
what
right,
we're
we'll
looking
put
at.
that, Bob, looks like you're all set. We'll look forward to seeing, yeah, whenever you're ready.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Have a good night.
Good night.
All right, now we're back to Mr. Nanan, who's so patiently held on here. Is he still awake?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm awake.
All right, you have a site plan modification.
Yes. So this is at 5 Harrington
Yeah,
Road in Mendon. We came in a couple of years ago with a plan to do small storage unit and like little contractor yards.
I can't see that. You got some glare going on there, buddy.
I know. So this is just the submission. I'll do the best
Yeah.
I can to kind of point it out. So we started construction shortly after we came in. We put a berm around the entire. Originally, the berm went along the front here and this side. We've now bermed the entire lot. We planted 8 to 12 foot pine trees around the entire lot. We've graded the lot to the original design, the detention basins to the original design. What we're coming in for the amendment for is not to build the buildings, and instead do trailer parking there, which would be wholesale business and storage, which is number 31 in the town's use bylaw. So the amendment, basically, the only changes we are doing is we add an additional 4 foot high chain link fence on top of the berm that's slatted, so you basically cannot see in or out of the site at all. And originally the lighting was on the buildings themselves, and now we've added 8 light poles around the site. And I included with the submission a lighting plan showing that they're all dark sky lighting, and there's no light because of this berm around the whole thing and the trees. There's no light that penetrate past our site at all onto the other properties around it. There's two entrances and exits, just like on the original site plan with lock gates. The site is completely done, other than the striping. So the amendment is basically the lighting and the striping.
What type of surface is that?
It's the scarified asphalt that's been graded and rolled. It's
Yep.
hot as a rock. It's just like asphalt now.
Yep.
And I believe that's what we originally said we were doing up there. The
So
original
you were
site.
looking for a modification. We're gonna have to probably go to a public hearing with it, because this is a pretty large modification, Bob, but.
So yeah, I don't know if it is. So I have also included with you a traffic impact statement from Tetra Tech. They went out and modded traffic out there.
Yeah,
And concluded that the trips per day coming in and out of the site are less now than they would be with the 11 buildings that are originally designed there. There was approximately 23 trips per day, which is 13 in and 13 out on one day, and 28 trips on a second day, which is 14 trips and 14 trips out. So what this is being used for is, as you know, Amazon has goods that they sell through Amazon. So
Yeah.
they bring in trailers in, they're stored on site for up to 4 to 8 days. And well, sometimes it's 2 days, but mostly 4 to 8 days. And then as they need the goods that are in the trailer, they come back and pick them up and take them. So it's not tractor trailer storage. It's all just trailers that are being stored. and they kind of rotate in and out about every 4 days.
How's the operation?
Yeah, they're in and out of there whenever the trucks come in, so it could be up to 24 hours a day.
Obviously, we got to be concerned of everybody around it. I understand it's a commercial district. Is there any way of that the
Yeah,
applicant?
limit the hours. I'm sure there is. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, can I butt in?
Yep.
Okay, on the memo that you gave, it says arriving and departing between the hours of 5:30 a.m. and 10 p.m. And yet it's open 24 hours a day?
Yeah.
So no, that's the traffic study. They had a traffic, and that's the only time that trailers came in and out of there
Oh, okay.
during the day. So I'm not
Oh.
saying that they do come in the middle of the night, but when they did the traffic studies, those were the hours that trailers did come in and out. There was none past 10 o'clock and none before 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
So yes, we could probably put a limit on the time.
Okay.
Bill, I've been down there at nighttime.
Yeah.
Bill,
Yeah.
this John.
Yes.
I've been down there at night and the lights look good. They're not obtrusive or anything.
Yeah, I saw them. I saw them. There's no light overflow any longer.
Yeah, so originally when Amazon first started parking there, they brought their own like portable lights in, and there was a problem with the lighting because they're on those stanchions that just spray out, and they didn't have them pointed in towards the lot. They just had them at wherever they parked them. Those are gone now, and we put lighting in. We put dark sky lighting.
Little generator running on them too, I think.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Yeah, we got rid of that. We put all dark sky compliant lighting in.
Yeah, no, it looks good now. It definitely is a huge difference. I did, and I just want to make sure that we don't have trucks, barreling in the middle of the night. And
yeah, so we could definitely put a time. We could lock the gates or something from a certain hour to a certain hour.
Okay.
I think that would take care of it. But yeah, we can discuss that. So I didn't know if this needed a public hearing because we're taking away the buildings. It's the same use. We're asking for the striping and the lighting as the only changes. So that's why I didn't know if that's a public hearing or it's a change in amended site plan. A lot of times amended site plans aren't public hearings. So I wanted to come in front of the board and talk about that.
Well, I think it's a change of use. I mean, it wasn't under 31 before, right? That
was wholesale and storage. It was for storage for contractors. I don't know. I think that's what we went under before, though. I think that was the same use we went under before 31 last time.
I'll have to look back at it, but
yeah.
I mean, if it's under the same use, then it's not a use change. Where there's not a structure, we don't really have to deal with but we're going to have to set a set of conditions.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I didn't know if it was a public hearing or not. That's all. I did submit the abutters list and everything for a public hearing. I just didn't know if it was.
Yeah, I don't think it requires special permit because the use is intact. But I would like to, if it's okay, and we'll do it as quick as we can.
So you're going to do a site plan?
I'd like to do a site plan review on it.
Yeah, so I submitted the full site plan and the lighting plan and the traffic.
All right, and we'll deal with the conditions at that meeting. So, so when would you like to have it? As soon as possible, I presume?
Sure. Yeah, well, this has been ongoing and complaints have been ongoing from the one abutter across the street. So we would like to get it taken care of as soon as possible, just so we have our ducks in a row.
So site plan review, we could probably do, when's the next meeting?
Well, it would be August 10th.
So we'll do August 10th.
We have nothing else for that day.
I thought we just
It
did
is Cape
something
Road.
tonight. Cape
Yeah, I
Road.
thought we did my other site plan for, I thought that
Yeah,
was
why
August.
don't you put them
Okay, wait a
both?
minute. Oh, I'm sorry, you're correct, yes.
But that one's a
Um,
special permit too, right?
Yeah, that's a special
It was a
permit
site
and site
plan
plan.
special permit, right. August 10th, I'm sorry, at 7:15.
All right, so why don't we set this up for a site plan review on
August 10th,
August 10th?
okay, at 8? Or do you want to?
No, do it at 7:30, because he's gonna be the same applicant. If we go over a little bit, we go over a little bit, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
as
okay.
long as we don't start before, there's no
Okay.
violation.
Right. Yeah, we don't have an issue with that.
All right, so who's making the motion?
I'll make a motion. Damon?
I'll second it.
Damon?
Yes.
Can you make the motion first?
Yeah, hold on, let me make the motion. Okay, set a public hearing for
No.
August 10th.
Site plan review.
Site plan review for August 10th at 7:30.
Okay,
Second.
All those in favor?
that was John, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay, okay, all set.
All right,
All right, thank you very much.
no problem, John.
Thanks, John.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.
I'll see you
Recent
then.
Formula 16.
Hopefully it's in person.
Yeah, recent
Yeah.
Formula 16.
Yeah. I'll start using that shampoo.
Oh, wow.
Thanks.
All right, John,
All right, good night. Bye.
have a good one.
Okay, so you just got one more thing,
Yeah,
Bill.
the bond update for Cook's Crossing.
Yep, and I sent you all, to look at it.
Yeah, actually, I looked it over pretty good. I don't know if anybody else saw it. Does Damon
I
have
didn't
it?
get it.
I have it, hold on. Let me just pull it up.
Send it to your brother. I got it right here too, but
Well, I sent it to everybody.
I know, Gail, hold on.
Okay,
you need to make sure, you know what I want you to do, Gail? Put a folder on your desktop for meetings and put the date of the meeting on them. And any documents we get for right now, put them in that meeting folder. So we have them all available at one time. Yeah, where the hell I put it now?
Oh, come on, Bill, you just yelled at Gail, you better have it. I got it right
Came
here.
from
if you want me to
Gail,
send-
so I gotta find Gail's
I'll
email.
send it to Lonnie.
All right.
I'm gonna do you, love.
That's the lighting layout.
You want the updated engineer's opinion construction cost estimates, correct?
What's that?
correct.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just sent it to Lonnie.
All right. Oh, where it is. Oh, here it is. You want me
Right
to
here,
send
look.
it? Oh, wait a minute. No, that's not it. Oh.
Should see it on the screen.
All right. Let me get back to the screen here.
Yeah, I got it, thank you.
All right. So basically, section 1, section 2, they're based on a definitive plan from 2009. And the bind has been placed along the sidewalks, buffer drive, powder house, top coat of bituminous pavement been placed along the roadways. Granite curb has been installed. The grading grass plots on each side have been done. The shoulders on the non-sidewalk side of the road were not constructed to the full width yet. I mean, he pretty much breaks down, keep going, Lonnie. There was something I wanted to point out on here in his, yeah, there's a missing hood at one catch basin. But there's also 20% administration contingency added to the estimate. The estimate looks pretty thorough. If you go down to the estimate, keep scrolling. And he breaks it down here, what's required. It looks like there's about another 100,000, so we can reduce the bond to 100,000. But these are the items that Jeff found that hadn't been completed as of yet.
So this is just for section 1, though?
Section 1 and 2, I think. Right?
No, section 2 is 92,000.
Oh, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Go down. Oh, yeah, okay.
You did it separate.
So the bond apparently needs to be 192,000 for sections 1 and 2, but go back up to the top. Yeah. Hold right there.
So how much is the bond now?
Well, I don't have that current information. Did he submit a request?
No, he just called up and asked for a bond estimate.
Well, you're gonna have to call him back and or look in our. Do you have his folder out?
No, I don't.
All right. Well, we'll need to determine what the bond is and reduce it by that much.
Okay.
And he'll have to wait till the next meeting. I mean, he should have submitted.
Is it something that she can pull out?
Let me
We're gonna
go
make
see.
this
Hold
guy wait
on.
for our next meeting,
All right, hold on.
because we don't have our ducks in a row.
Yeah, good point. Let's see. Well, no, Jeff wouldn't have access to the bond. I thought, let me see if I got an email from Mirage here. All right. What the hell is that? Mirage. Yeah, see, his email just said like we would like to request a bond reduction for Cook's Crossing, but that's only section 1 and 2.
Hold on a minute.
So right now, what we're looking at is this $92,000 number is for what?
Well, it looks like it's breaking it down from.
So, Bill?
Yeah.
Okay, and I see in 2014, it was down to 3099. Dropped it 62,100.
That was on all the sections, or?
Hold on a minute. Let me see if it's both. That looks like it's just section 1.
Hello?
That looked like it was section 1. Hold on. Okay,
Yeah.
wait a minute. All right, I got something else. Oh, no, that's,
All right, I'll be this.
wait a minute. Let me see the date. Okay. Okay, this one's older. Okay.
Jeff usually does it with, I don't know.
So Gail,
Okay,
you're saying that there's a
the last
360.
looks like it was 309,900.
Is that just section 1, or is that?
All I see here is section 1.
Okay, so that was for just
I don't see
section
section
1.
2 on, with here. So hold on a minute,
So-
let me just,
Why don't we vote on doing a bond reduction for section 1 for 100,000 and a bond reduction for section 2 for 92,000?
Well, we need a balance. We need a balance of 100,000 and a balance of 92,000, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Bond reduction to that amount.
okay,
That's
so,
what's left. That's
is
what-
somebody making a motion to drop the bond down for section 1 down to 100,000?
That's why I want to just make sure I'm clear before we do this now.
It is
There's
a-
Okay.
There's $100,000 left.
On
of
section
work
1.
To be done on that section 1, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that's what we're gonna use as a number.
Yes,
Okay, so okay, are you ready for this?
yes.
All right, go ahead, Damon.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna make a motion for the, release of the remaining balance other than $100,000 for section 1 of Cook's Crossing.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, hold
All
on,
those in favor?
down to 100,000 for
Down to
section 1.
100.
Yeah,
Okay,
bond-
and
a
John
bond-
second.
Amadon Road, Station 0 to Station 8, and the entire length of Powder.
Okay, all right.
With a balance of
That's that one.
100,000.
1,000, section 1. Okay, so I'll add that into it. Okay. Amadon
Hey.
Road.
Hold on one sec. This is Lonnie. Can I just interject for 1 sec on that motion? David, can you just look at the screen? Look, I think you might have said the wrong section for the section 1 is slightly different.
So that's, 0 to 8.
No, he's talking about section, and then he added Damon, Lonnie, he added the stations.
Gotcha. Okay, got it.
Station
Amadon
8
Road,
plus-
Station 0 to Station 8, and the entire length of Powder Mill, or Powder Hill, whatever it's called.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and then the
Okay,
section.
entire length of Powder. Okay.
Yeah, all right, and then we got John seconded that, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay,
All those in
Okay.
favor?
Wait a minute, where are you getting powder, saying
look
Puffer Drive?
on page,
On the second page.
Oh,
No.
no, at the top of the first page.
Oh, right, yeah.
Very
Damon,
top, it shows you the
Station 8.
stations.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
In
what
the
it
entire
says,
length of Powder.
that's what we're voting on.
you're saying Powder, right?
Yep,
It
Yes.
says
It's Puffer Drive.
No, there's Powder too.
I don't see
Powder's a
Powder.
little cul-de-sac.
Powder
No,
House
you're
and
right.
Puffer.
Powder House Lane.
you're on the
Powder
other,
House Lane and Puffer.
Yeah.
No, we
yeah,
don't.
you're on
Oh,
the
the
other,
next
All it says
one.
is Powder, but yeah, it's Powder House Lane, yes.
Okay, the next one says Puffer Drive.
yeah.
Correct, and I'm not
The
there
other
yet.
one,
Section
Barry.
2. Okay,
Okay, so we all vote, everybody, you got to vote on that, right, Gail?
yes, I have.
Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the second for section 2, which is Amadon Road, Station 8 to Station 12 plus 57, and Puffer Drive, Station 0 to Station 9 plus 75.
Okay,
And that amount will be, the remaining balance will be $92,000 left in the account for that part of the subdivision.
okay, yep,
Do I have a second?
Second.
Second.
okay. 2 people, 3 are saying second.
Put Jimmy
Okay.
down.
Jim seconded it.
Okay,
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And that concludes the agenda.
okay, so then I just have to send him a letter, right?
Yes, and make sure you explain it just as Damon
Yep,
did it.
Maybe you should send it to all of us first before you send it.
Yeah, send the entire board a copy.
okay,
And
as a
Jeff-
letter I'm
and
gonna
Jeff.
send him. Okay,
All right.
And Jeff.
all right, send board letter before sending, okay, sending to Mirage.
Is everybody
Okay.
good?
Motion to adjourn?
Do I have a
Motion to
second?
adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Damon seconds.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right,
Have a good night, gentlemen.
Take care.
have a
Okay.
good night.